shadow when I come in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
You go that way?
Yeah, I'll go. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dave Gagnon, Chairman of the Chamber Board of Directors. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Chamber's first virtual breakfast meeting, come to you live from the 721 Media Center in Kingston. As we always do at every Chamber breakfast, let's begin our program this morning with the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Once again, to everyone watching this morning's program, welcome on behalf of the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. Let's see, where were we? As many of you are aware, there were some 300 of our chamber members. We were just about to enjoy some delicious green orange juice, listen to bagpipers and the T. McCann Band, and select our 51st annual Honorary Irish Person of the Year. That was on St. Patrick's Day just 6 weeks ago. How many people think it feels like 6 months? Just a few days earlier, news of the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic hit New York State, and we decided that we needed to postpone this breakfast. Starting today, as we maneuver through the new digital world, we are proud to present our first virtual breakfast meeting with a full agenda of timely and important information for everyone in our region. In the coming weeks and months, the Chamber will also be introducing the new Digital Friday Forum. Our first installment will feature an update from Washington with Congressman Antonio Delgado on Friday, May 8th from 1:30 to 2:30. Watch the Chamber website for more details. Our region has been hit hard by this pandemic, but I hope you agree the Chamber of Commerce has been in the forefront of providing important services for our members' need and providing additional support to many local businesses that are also in need. Traffic on the Chamber website has been up dramatically in the last few weeks, with information regarding our recovery changing on a daily, if not hourly basis. Be sure to check our homepage frequently for the latest news and information, since we update it throughout the day. That's ulsterchamber.org. Our members regard it as a central clearinghouse for local, regional, state, and federal COVID-19 recovery news. Your Chamber of Commerce remains committed to leading the way to bring our region back to health and prosperity. If there's any way we can help you or your business, please contact the Chamber at 845-338-5100. We're an essential business and we're open for you. Now to introduce our program this morning, in honor of the adjective of the month, I'm catching up for the last couple. Here's our magically marvelous, amazingly awesome president, Mr. Ward Todd. Ward?
Good morning, David. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you today, and it's a pleasure to have Dave Gagnon as the chair of our board of directors. We have an amazing volunteer cadre of chamber board members, and I don't think any of them, when they signed up for being part of the chamber, had any idea they'd be in this situation today, but we look to them for their leadership, for their advice, and for their counsel. So thanks again. For everybody who's normally going to see us at a monthly breakfast meeting, and the Chamber's been doing them for decades and decades. For one, I know I miss Ralph Sackerman's scrambled eggs, bacon, and sausage, as many of you do as well. If you've never been to our breakfast meeting and you're new to the Chamber of Commerce, we welcome you. Thank you for tuning in today. We have some great guest speakers coming in, and we are delighted to have you with us for our program for the next hour. Particularly, we want to thank our Ulster County Executive, Pat Ryan, and the Regional Administrator for the Small Business Administration, Steve Bulger, a longtime friend who is going to be with us today providing some up-to-date information on what's happening with SBA monies so that our members and other business leaders throughout the region are fully aware of what's happening. I have to say a special thanks this morning to our underwriting sponsor. Our virtual breakfast series is made possible today through the technology services of Ellen Bogan Creative Media. For 30 years now, Ellen Bogan has been on the forefront of media industry, helping companies, government, and organizations communicate through audio and video. Whether it's live streaming like today, video production, event AV, or digital marketing services, discover how Ellen Bogan can help your business during these difficult times and on into the future. You can visit ellenbogan.com or call them at 845-33-VIDEO. That's 845-33-VIDEO. Our breakfast sponsor today is a longtime friend also, and someone who has been with us for a number of years. They're celebrating, in fact, their 40th anniversary, and I think we've got a great video to show everyone today a little bit more about this great community organization known as Ulster Literacy Association, again celebrating their 40th anniversary today.
Stop for just a minute to consider what life would be like if you were unable to connect, to communicate. For 40 years, Ulster Literacy Association has helped hundreds of our fellow citizens to understand and communicate more effectively, helping them, their families, and our communities to be better and stronger.
Literacy is the bread and butter of human communication.
My job is to be a tutor and to help develop a set of skills which will help this person and I hope will help all of society. The more productive he is, the more successful he is, the more successful we as a society are. That's the way I look at it.
When you give them the key to reading, the door suddenly starts to open.
That is a key that unlocks the potential for the rest of your life. Without that, it's very hard to move forward.
The basic human right of being able to read, write, and express yourself should be everyone's.
Ulster literacy coming into the Ulster County Jail is an important part of healing individuals so they can go back and become part of society.
I'm going to help deliver back into society this guy I'm working with now who truly has gone through a major transformation and talks about how he wants to conduct himself in his life when he gets out.
My job here at the Sheriff's Office is to make someone a better person. And so Ulster Literacy does that.
One person at a time, we collectively are able to make the world a little bit better. And not just for those people individually, but the larger community.
Being able to weave these folks into the fiber of our society is huge. We're better because of it.
Building a compassionate community, a place where everybody can be welcomed, where everybody can be competent, where everyone can be celebrated. That's the goal.
Cassandra Beam is with us, and we hear her, but we may not see her at this very moment. We want to welcome Cassandra, and congratulations on your 40th anniversary at Ulster Literacy. And thanks for your leadership, Cassandra.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Oh, good. It's been a real honor to be the executive director of such an important mission for 11 years. And I'm grateful for the chamber and for all the people who are listening in on this Zoom meeting for their support through all these years.
So thanks again. And did you want to introduce your board chair also?
Yes, Bob Alavity is here with us, and he has some things to say and to share. We didn't expect our 40th anniversary to kick off in just this particular type of way, but here we are. So, Bob, are you on? Can you hear me?
Okay, we can't seem to get him at this moment, Cassandra. Maybe we can try back in a little while. But again, thank you so much for all you're doing.
Thank you very much, Ward. You've been a very special supporter, and there are many people who are on this breakfast who have really helped us to, keep our mission alive. And, I worry about the future, but I have hope still that, we're going to figure out a way to keep going. But it's challenging.
Well, keep up your great work. Folks, if you need volunteers or if you need additional help, you can find them on the internet, Ulster Literacy Association.
And this is Merle Cosgrove. I'm the vice president of the board, and since Bob isn't here right now, I just want to add that in our last board meeting, which was, of course, a Zoom meeting, we heard how much the learners and the tutors are working together. They're helping each other, not only continuing their lessons when they can, socially distancing, but they're also giving food to each other and creating even a stronger community. And so Ulster Literacy is not just a learning situation, it's a whole community of people who are connected that might not be in other ways. So I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you again. More information on their website. Thank you both for being with us and for being a sponsor for our breakfast program today. You are doing great work in our community, so thanks again. We are delighted to have with us today via Zoom the County Executive of Ulster County so we can find out some more plans that the county has to bring Ulster County back on the road to recovery after this pandemic. So thank you for being with us. We are delighted to see Ulster County Executive Pat Ryan. Pat, good morning.
Hey, Ward. Good morning, and good morning to everybody out there. I think we're all still adjusting to this new world of Zooming, and it's a new verb that wasn't in my vocabulary before, but we actually sang happy birthday to a friend, about 200 of us over Zoom last night, my wife and I. So, everybody's hanging in there in a bunch of different ways, and I wish I could be with everybody in person, but very glad to at least be here virtually, and thanks for a few minutes to say hi to everybody. I just want to start by really thanking you, Ward, thanking the Chamber, your leadership and your team at this moment of really unprecedented confusion and anxiety and economic devastation, frankly, already, has been really remarkable. And we're going to lean on you even more heavily in the months and weeks to come, and maybe even years. So thank you to you and your team, and to many others on the line that I know are also doing that work. I'll just take a few minutes, and I had two areas to update folks on. The first is just a quick update of where I see COVID-19 going from a public health perspective, which I do think informs how the second half, which is how we can safely, responsibly, quickly get our economy going again to the maximum degree possible, get people back to work, and get families in a place where they don't feel the uncertainty that they feel right now and the concern that they feel right now. So from a public health perspective, we continue to see the number of COVID-19 cases increase. We're now over 1,300 cases, and we've tragically had now 30 fatalities of county residents. But the good news, there are some good news signs. We've had almost 300 people recover, confirmed recoveries, and I think more on the way. And we've seen our hospitalizations flatten out and even begin to maybe decline here in the county. So that is very good news. And I think that as we continue to do that, the other pieces we're working is to increase our testing capacity. So we've now opened 3 testing sites in the county. Our third one is in Midtown Kingston. And I want to thank Health Alliance for their partnership there, as well as New Vance Health helped with our one in town of Ulster, and Ellenville Regional Hospital, the site in Ellenville. Our healthcare system has been incredible, and all the workers and the leaders from the healthcare sector have, as we all know, really stepped up. So that's kind of the public health aspects, and what I think that sets up is we're not there yet. We have to continue to focus on addressing the public health risks, and we will continue to do that, but we also are ready, I think, to begin the planning, the thinking for how we unwind the things that we really tightened up and wound for, I believe, the right and good reasons. And so actually yesterday, we did not plan this, but yesterday it works out that I at least announced the beginning of a framework that we're working on here and hope to have all of you participate in, really an economic resilience plan for Ulster County that has three main components. Since my last line, we had to make them ours. Recover, reopen, and realign. And I won't go too in depth because I know everybody's busy and we have more important things to get onto today. But at a high level, recover is really that first step of both for individuals and families that have been devastated economically. How do we get them unemployment benefits? How do we get them other critical services they need? Food, shelter, mental health services, addiction recovery services, many of the critical things that we already provided as a county and as a community that are going to be even more important in the wake of all the pressure that folks are feeling. So that plus business recovery support, which we've already begun. Many of you know and have been working with our Office of Economic Development, Lisa Berger and her team, in conjunction with the Chamber and other key groups to figure out how to get access for you all to the federally available funds. So we've now already, not as much as we'd like, but had over $50 million in loans and financial support from the federal level into Ulster County businesses. 8.2 million from the EIDL program and about at least 50, and we think more million from the PPP program in the first wave. And I'm sure Steve will talk a lot more about that. And we appreciate the SBA's support. Between the SBDC and our Economic Development Office, we're doing our best to get that recovery out. The second piece is reopening. How do we responsibly get things going again? And we've set up sector-specific working groups. Many folks on the line have generously volunteered to be a part of that, to think through how do we responsibly get manufacturing going again? How do we responsibly get retail, hospitality, and lodging? Each of these industries are going to have different parameters to get things going again, and we want your all's input in that. So that's kind of the second piece. And then the third piece, realign, is really about how can we possibly take a whole lot of lemons and try to make lemonade? How can we emerge from this in a stronger, more resilient way as an economy, as a community? And these are some of the things we had already been talking about, and I had spoken with many of you about at a chamber breakfast a few months ago, in terms of what does the economy look like and should it look like in 2040 in Ulster County? How do we build a more equitable and successful economy? And I think a lot of what we've learned, by the way, in the however 7-ish, 8 weeks it's been since COVID, has shown some of the strengths of our economy. I mean, you're going to hear from Usheco, a great local manufacturer that stepped up, changed their business, and is now, I think, had to, and Althea may correct me on this, but actually add employees to keep up with some of the demands. We've seen our manufacturing industry set up. We've seen food and agriculture set up. We've seen so many other businesses on the line and figure out already how to retool things and make them work. So I think there's opportunity for all of us to work together to improve and maybe even make the economy better after this. So that's the high level of our economic resilience plan. And it's only going to work if you all are willing to work together and give input, and to have all the key leaders of the community participate. The last thing I will say about this, and then I'll stop. The only way this is going to work is if government moves at the speed of business. And I'm committed to that, having been a business owner myself. I understand the pressure and the urgency. And I promise you that we will work as quickly as we possibly can, and I call on all my colleagues in government to do the same. So we'll be getting all the different levers of county government, from our Office of Economic Development to the IDA to our EDA and all the other elements we have aligned and working together to support you. And again, I just appreciate what each of you are doing, the individual resilience that you have shown. And I'm very, very proud of our community right now. I think we've stepped up in a way that puts us above our peers, frankly, and that's not an accident. So thank you all, and stay healthy and safe, and I hope to see you in person soon.
Good, Pat. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking time this morning. Thank you for your leadership. Keep up the great work, and we hope we can make this a regular part of our breakfast meetings to get an update from you, from your perspective at the county building. So thanks again.
Thanks, Ward.
All right, be well. We are delighted to have with us via Zoom also our featured speaker for the morning, who is the Regional Administrator of SBA Atlantic Region 2, and also Acting Regional Administrator for Mid-Atlantic Region 3. And that means that he oversees a very large portion of northeastern United States. Prior to accepting his appointment to the SBA, many of you knew him. He was for 6 years, Congressman Chris Gibson's district director. We saw him here in Ulster County a lot during those 6 years. He brings to the SBA a more than 30-year private sector background, a New York native. He's a graduate of Lafayette College and has held leadership positions in numerous nonprofit and local government organizations. We'll have a chance to hear from him, and we'll have a chance for you to ask questions. So if you're not on Facebook now, go to Facebook. You can ask questions, and we'll get as many into Steve as time permits this morning. Our pleasure now to welcome our good friend Steve Bulger from the SBA. Steve, good morning.
Ward, good morning. It is great to be with you. Thank you for this invitation. Good morning to all my friends in Ulster County. I just want to start by saying we're very lucky to have such a strong chamber in Ulster County. I have 7 states that I cover, and I really can't think of a better run or stronger chamber of commerce in any of those areas. So it really is a pleasure to be back with you. So I want to get into it. I've got 4 areas I want to cover briefly, and then we will take some questions. The first update I'd like to give is on the Paycheck Protection Program. As many of you know, round 1 wrapped up in mid-April on April 13th, and round 2 just kicked off on Monday. So here's what we're seeing to follow up on the county executive's earlier comments. So round 2, it's going well. So to date, it opened on Monday at 10:30. Right now, we're processing about $2 billion worth of loans for 20,000 businesses every single hour since that program opened up. So we're over 70 billion, well over 70 billion. Over 700,000 businesses have been approved for loans. The interesting thing on round 2 versus round 1 is the size of the loans. In round 1, the average loan size to the small business was $206,000. In round 2, it's exactly half of that, $103,000 so far. And one of the reasons for that is we set aside, SBA and the Treasury Department set aside over $30 billion for small lenders, community banks, credit unions who deal directly with a lot of very small businesses. So that money is the majority of the loans we're seeing have gone to very small businesses, or certainly smaller than in round 1. So we're pleased to see that. There's a couple other restrictions. Everybody heard about the bigger companies, some of the publicly traded companies like Ruth Chris and Shake Shack getting money. That's all been stopped here for round 2. And in fact, many of those companies are either voluntarily paying back the money or they're going to be forced to pay back the money as we move forward here. So that has stopped as well, because we really do want to focus it on the smallest businesses. One of the things I do want to address, and first, most importantly, I want to thank our lending partners in Ulster County and the Mid-Hudson Valley who are supporting these businesses through the Paycheck Protection Program. These banks and credit unions, they're lending out their money. Ultimately, the loan will be guaranteed and repaid by the Small Business Administration and the American taxpayers, but they're lending out their money right now, and their teams are working exceptionally hard. And I just want to say thank you, because this program and SBA writ large would not work without the cooperation of our lending partners. So thank you for that. I know it's been a difficult stretch for you, but the bottom line is the Paycheck Protection Program is designed to get money into the hands of employees at these small businesses, including the small business owners themselves. There's been a lot of questions. Well, you know, why do I have to spend 75% of the proceeds of a PPP loan on my employees? I have other bills I need to pay, etc. We understand that, but Congress, the intent of Congress with this program is the name of the program, Paycheck Protection. They want, and it's our job to ensure that that money does go as much as possible to keeping workers paid, whether you're open or not. It's really designed to keep the paychecks flowing so that during this shutdown period, our small business employees and their families are getting paid, and they do have jobs to go back to then at the end of this. So that's really the design of the program. And I know there's been some reports, oh, the SBA system has crashed and it's really slow. Well, it is slower this time because we are regulating it. That is intentional. We have over 5,000 lenders across the country who are pounding our website and portal to put these applications in. So up front, we set some guidelines and restrictions because we did not want the system to be overwhelmed, and we wanted to keep it as fair as possible. So the system is working good. It's a very steady pace. I would just encourage small businesses who are waiting to hear, have patience. It takes time for the lenders to get the applications in and then to get the approvals back and everybody notified. But it is working and the money is coming out, I'm sure, to build on what the county executive also mentioned. There will be a lot more money. Millions of new dollars will be coming into Ulster County businesses, small businesses, through the PPP round 2. So I'll be happy to take any questions on that at the end of this. Second point I wanted to talk about is the Economic Injury Disaster Loans, EIDL. That is another big SBA program. That program has been open since early March. And 2 components to it. There was an EIDL Advance program, which many people applied to in Ulster County. And many small businesses are receiving those checks. We're about halfway done processing the first batch of those. That's up to $10,000 in a basically forgivable advance on the loan. So those checks are going out. Some of you probably have received them. In terms of the bigger EIDL loan themselves, we are processing through. The challenge for us, quite honestly, at SBA is we've had over 6 million small businesses across the country apply for these loans. And we really had to wait for Congress to reappropriate more money because we quickly ran out. So we are now in the process of going through all those loan applications. And that is a much more timely process, or excuse me, it takes more time than the PPP process because it's actually is a loan that you are going to have to pay back. You get up to 30 years. It's a good interest rate, but we do have to go through, do credit analysis, collateral requirements, things like that, typical for any small business loan. So it usually takes at least a month between when the application is sent in and when the money would be coming out from SBA. So we're trying to hit those timelines as much as we can, and we're working hard to do that. The third program I just want to mention is SBA for a 6-month period is picking up all of the interest and principal payments on any outstanding SBA loans already out there. There's thousands of loans in New York State on the books from SBA that have been built up over the years through our lenders, not only in Ulster County, but all over. And those loans, in order to reduce the burden on small businesses, SBA is picking up the interest and principal for a 6-month period. So that's really going to help a lot of small businesses as well. Just one less payment they have to worry about. And then finally, as I mentioned earlier about our lending partners, well, the other huge group of partners for us are our resource partners. And there's no better resource partner for us than the Mid-Hudson SBDC, Arnaldo Sewart and his team. They do a tremendous job and have been for a long time there in Kingston and throughout Ulster County and the Mid-Hudson Valley for that matter. So I just want to say thank you to Arnaldo. And if there's anyone who has any questions about these SBA programs, how they work, how to apply, how is the forgiveness going to go, all these things that are out there. Most importantly, how to move forward as we reopen these businesses, then Arnaldo and his team will really be able to help. So thank you to them. And with that, Ward, I'll be happy to take some questions.
So just point of clarification, I guess PPP round 2, which just started, is still open and there still are funds available. People should apply if they've not done so already?
Yes, good point. Thank you. Yes, we've gone through probably 70 billion. There's still over $200 billion left in that. I would not hesitate though, because it is going, the loans are going out quick. But if you have not applied and you are interested, please contact your either a local bank, a credit union, or you can go online. There's some online lenders that are offering the application service.
Okay. So here's one. Can an employer increase wages and have it allowed for PPP? For instance, an employer wants to provide incentives to get an employee to come back to work, a shift bonus or a hazard pay, especially now with the increased amount being paid through unemployment. Is that permissible?
Yes. Yes, it is. And we're hearing anecdotally small businesses doing that. So as long as the small business uses 75% of the proceeds to pay their employees over the 8 weeks after they receive the loan, and they are able to document that they have at least the same number of full-time equivalent employees as they did when on what they submitted for, then they will get full forgiveness of 100% of that loan.
Great to know. Been rumors about a third round. What's your perspective on that?
Well, we'll see. We'll see what Congress wants to do. We'll see how this ends up. That's another. Let's put it this way. It wouldn't surprise me, but I know that that's going to be up to Congress and the administration. So we'll just have to see how that works out after round 2.
Okay. Another question that came in: if you borrow $200,000, Steve, but can only use $75,000 for payroll and have $25,000 of other allotted costs, then you give forgiveness on the entire $100,000. The remaining $100,000 you either return or you use for payroll or other allowed costs after the 8-week period? How's that work?
Yes. So if you don't use 75% of the entire loan proceeds for payroll and benefits, you will not get 100% of the loan deducted. However, if you do use part of it for payroll and benefits, you will get part deducted. We're still waiting from the Treasury Department. They set the guidelines on this. So we're waiting for exactly what that formula looks like. So there will be partial forgiveness available if you aren't able to hit that 75% total.
Okay, and I think we just got another in. Where can businesses apply for PPP loans without a banking relationship if their bank is out of funds or closed applications for lending?
Yeah, I would say the best spot I would recommend right now is online. There are a number of online lenders, Square, Intuit, On Deck Capital, Cabbage. There's a whole bunch. You might want to do Blue Vine is another. They're the ones, and they're set up to take these applications pretty quickly. I don't know. Some of them I know are also overrun with applications, but at least give it a shot there.
Okay. Steve Bulger, thank you for your time this morning. Great work. We hope to talk to you again very soon. We appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thanks, Ward, and good luck to everybody out there. Thank you to our small businesses.
All right. Good. Good man. Thank you, Steve Bulger from the SBA. We have another interesting component of our breakfast program today, and we invite you to stick around for a little while. As many of you are well aware, our Ulster County economy has really been hard hit by COVID-19, and a lot of businesses have been forced to close. A number of local companies, however, have decided to reinvent themselves with the purpose of helping others. So through the magic of Zoom again right now, we're taking you behind the scenes this morning to 3 of those local businesses where manufacturing is taking place. We are headed out first, and we already got a tip on this from our county exec, to Usheco, introducing to you Alethea Schumann and Wayne Schaefer to tell us what their great local company is up to these days. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Alethea, and this is my dad.
Wayne Schaefer.
And we're here in Kingston, New York at Usheco, and we are proud to be manufacturing, and I'm going to switch you around, part of the solution. And we're going to take you on a tour of where we were and what we're doing now. So we're going to do a little walk tour through the building. Wayne's going to guide the tour. So Dad's going to give a little bit of history about Usheco.
Okay, we're a small family-owned business started by my father in 1961. I'm the second generation. Alethea's the third generation. Our business is pretty steady until COVID-19. It dropped 30%. So we pivoted and are now creating a lot of devices for this problem.
Great. So one of the things we did, we didn't want to lay anyone off, so we cut back people's hours at first, but very quickly we came up with a face shield design and started selling those, and we sold to our local community and to all over the country our own face shield design, which got us started. We also have just pivoted recently to create these, which Wayne will talk about.
Yeah, these are barriers. Can be used for offices or grocery stores. We're making up actually restaurants too, but there seems to be a lot of popularity with these things right now. There's a bunch of different styles that we created.
So we have our own standard design, which is available on our website, usheco.com. And there's also an opportunity for us to make custom designs. So we're working with Stone Ridge Wine and Liquor to make their custom design. We're working with Stonehouse Tavern. I saw that Linda Bradford is on the call. And we're proud to help. We already have been helping with the people on the front lines with making face shields. And now we're happy to be helping with the next part, which is reopening local businesses in a safe way. We're really proud to be part of that. So what Wayne is showing you, go ahead, Dad.
It's a headband for face shield.
This was designed by SUNY New Paltz, and we have sold to Ulster and Dutchess counties. We also are not only injection molding, so this is our injection molding process. We'll take a look at one of these. We're not only injection molding the headband, but we're also die cutting the face shields themselves. So between the 2 counties, there's about 15,000 face shields that were made with this design. And it'll just be another moment, and then the mold's going to open and a part is going to pop out. It's a pretty fast cycle, so we won't have to wait too long, I hope. There you go. And then they come out on a conveyor and go into the bin where they get clipped. And this is a whole bin full. And then we are also in the process of ramping up to create a lot of face shields. If you look at this roll is 2,500 pounds, and we're going to be cutting it into strips to make face shields, 100,000 of them, probably more. So this is the die cutter that we're using. It's a roller die cutter. I will show you a die. Unfortunately, we're in the process of switching over at the moment. But what happens is a steel roll die rolls through the roller and it cuts out pieces like this, which become the front of the face shield. So you want to hold it up like as if it was part of the shield.
Would line up with those There's little prongs on the headband.
Right. So that's that. I'm quickly going to walk past. These are our thermoforming machines. So a sheet of plastic goes into the oven, and then the plastic comes out, and the mold comes up, and a vacuum pulls a part down into the mold to make the final part, which looks like this, which ends up getting routed in one of our CNC machines. We're going to take one more tour through our assembly. As we're walking there, I'm going to switch you around for a moment. So we teamed up with a direct competitor of ours, and they had developed another face shield design, a disposable face shield design. And I want to say that it has been one of the greatest experiences to collaborate with open-minded people in business, to be able to share in the design and share in our ability to help with this. So we're producing for Nassau County, Rockland County, and Sullivan counties, as well as Yale Hospital through this collaboration. We are also in conversation with Zoom Tobel, who's supposed to be ramping up and creating a duplicate cell at their location, starting hopefully next week. We're just figuring out details at the moment. So that's what this cell is going to be. They're going to be duplicating at their location as well. So here is our clean room. We wear masks in here. We're producing over 300 an hour of these disposable masks. I will walk you through the process. Actually, our competitor WEPCO has allowed Kyle, their intern, to come and work with us for a few hours today. Yay, Kyle! So Kyle's cutting the Coban, one of the operations required at this point in the process. And then Lindsay, who is my cousin, is doing the stocking for everybody here. Oscar, her boyfriend, is here doing the gluing. And Pat Ryan had mentioned that we did hire. So we brought on 3 additional people after we received this order in order to fulfill. We also produced our own design, which was slightly different from what this is. And we produced about 6,000 of those as well. So this is Connor, my brother. He's doing the stapling. And this is Morgan, my sister. So we are definitely a family business. And these people, a few of us in this room, due to COVID are not working. And had worked here before. So they came back to help out. And we're really proud to be helping out in this. So, and here's the final design. Thanks, Wayne.
How's my hair look?
Your hair looks great. So our strategy here has been just being flexible, being collaborative, and empathy. So those are the 3 things that we try to stress here at Usheco. And I really liked what Pat said in that, government's trying to keep up with, sorry about this, government's trying to keep up with manufacturing, and we really appreciate that. And we have volunteered to step up and help out in any way we can with the collaboration that's going on with Ulster County and getting businesses back up and running, because we really want to help, and we know that that's so important to our neighbors here in the Hudson Valley and all over. But I think we can have the biggest impact right here. So thank you so much. Thank you for having us on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Alethea. And Wayne, thank you both very, very much for the work you're doing. Great, great work at Usheco. Proud chamber member. Thanks again.
Thank you.
So our next guest, many of you probably have heard about already. She's become, actually, I think, can we say, Jess, quite famous in our local area. When she had to close her business just a few weeks ago, she put her sewing skills, that is, to work to help lots of folks in our area. And we have with us today from Cabrera Alterations and Tailoring on Ulster Avenue, the very talented Maria Cabrera. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi,
Thank you,
Maria.
Ward.
Take us through your facility. Tell us what you've been doing.
Good morning and thank you. I just want to go over what made me start doing this. On March 30th, I closed my shop. I went home. I started scrolling on my Facebook and I started seeing many posts about the lack of face mask. So the next morning, on Saturday morning, I called my team, my two girls that helped me, and I asked them if they were willing to come and sew a few masks to take to the hospital. That Saturday, our first day, March 21st, we sewed 200 masks, took them to the hospital. Again, it was the very beginning of this chaotic situation. When we got to the hospital, the faces of the nurses and the people that were at the lobby impacted me at that moment. And I completely forgot about my personal situation. And I just wanted to help. So I came back on Sunday. We saw another 200. Every day we kept coming back and we wanted to sew more and more and more. So long story short, every day we have sewn an average of 200 masks. And I'm gonna show you the process. So this is not a 3D printing. This is all handmade. This is every morning. This is our production, 200 masks a day. When Jess Davis, thank you to Jess that she's been volunteering to help. She's been great doing this 100% volunteering. It's just been amazing. And this is my little shop. This is what I do. These are all the brides that are waiting for me to work on their wedding gowns. But we put those aside, and this is what's happening right now. Again, it's a very small shop, and this is the process. We're hand cut our string, hand sew it. We have our little cutting table right here. This is how we set up for the day. Then there's the second machine where the pieces, the squares get put together. We connect the string to the squares right here. So it's a long process. My team, Gladys and Sylvia, say hi. Sylvia, Gladys, they've been great. We've been working 14 hours a day. When we finish our 200 masks early, we go home at the mark of 12 hours a day. So it's been intense. It's been financially very hard. We have produced till this date about close to 6,000 masks. We have donated at least 4,000, completely donating 4,000 masks. And we have probably sold 1,000. We had a couple of donations, but most of the masks have been completely free on us. Thanks to the volunteering work of the Chamber of Commerce, Ward Todd, Jess Davis. It's an army. It really takes the whole county to get something like this done. I am grateful. I am honored. This is my blessing that I'm able to do this for the community. Just one of the jails, the local jail, took over 400 masks, and they were asking for more. Completely out of cost, completely free. So just keep that in mind that we are donating all of this mask, and it's a lot of work. And I put my soul. People that know me and my work, I put my soul into my work, and it's my honor. It's my pleasure. Thank you, Ward. Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Jess Davis. I am blessed. Thank you.
You've got the right mask around, Maria. You've got your Wonder Woman mask there for us. That's beautiful. Perfect.
Superwoman.
And she's got a mask for you, Mr. Ward Todd.
Ah.
A Maria Cabrera exclusive.
How great is this?
And if you can come up
And one for Mr. Gagnon also. And I know Alethea was wearing one earlier, one of Maria's masks. Yes.
So united, we're going to get through this.
Nice. Beautiful. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maria, so much. She also gave me one earlier that's all about believe in yourself and smile, laugh, and love. Great things to remember. Good thoughts for our future. So thanks again, Maria Cabrera, for all you're doing. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. Listen, our final guest is part of an organization that never, ever says no when asked to step up for a local cause or for something happening around the globe. It is no surprise that they're one of the first organizations to adapt their facility to construct PPEs. We welcome you now from the world-famous company that manufactures mobility equipment for children with special needs, Riften, and from Community Products, our good friend, Johan Hewlett. Good morning, Johan.
Thank you, Ward. And it's been an honor to be invited to join in on this conversation. I want to thank you, Pat Ryan, for being on, our county executive, Steve Bulger from the SBA. Steve, thank you for your service over the years. Alethea Sherman and our good friends and business partners at Usheco, thank you. It's been a pleasure to work together with you over the decades. Ward, before I go on, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
And Maria, congratulations to you and your team for also finding ways to respond. We appreciate that, and we salute you. And certainly Cassandra Beam and the Ulster Literacy Association, congratulations on your 40th anniversary. And Cassandra, can you hear me okay?
I'm not sure if she's still with us.
Okay. I just want to give a salute to a good friend of ours who passed away this week, Jeff Stokes, who helped the Literacy Association remodel their office. He was a local contractor we worked with over the years, and he did a big remodeling project there. And 2 days ago, he passed away of brain cancer. So Cassandra would know him from the past experience. On a positive note, according to Pat Lehman from the Public Discourse, the good news is, if there is any these days, that New York's peak in death arrived fully a week earlier than most optimistic models of the effect of the lockdowns would have predicted. And its decline after that peak has been faster than expected, which is great news. But this is no surprise at all. Social distancing in New York, like everywhere else, began in earnest about 10 days before the shelter-in-place order went into effect. It's not the lockdown saving lives, it's New Yorkers voluntarily restricting their own lives to protect those around them. And you can check that out at publicdiscourse.com. And just for a little history here, in the Ward, you're absolutely right. You know, March 17th is really the last time we were planning to get together. And then around March 20th, the governor and the Empire State Development encouraged any company with the proper equipment or personnel to begin manufacturing PPE products if possible. Working with our affiliated businesses, Community Manufacturing Solutions there in Kingston, we discussed how can we reallocate some research, design, manufacturing capabilities to respond. And within a week, we had a variety of prototypes developed to respond to that. And this included some masks, face shields, protective gowns, fixed beds, privacy screens, and sadly enough, some coffins as well. From the prototypes that were developed, the items that have been put into production based on what was most needed are the face masks, face shields, and the privacy screens, which can be found in use at the Kate Walton Fieldhouse Step-Down Hospital. And, you know, God willing, we won't have to use that step-down hospital. But you can find them, you can see the privacy screens in use there. And just as an example of the face shields that we manufactured, this is what it looks like, okay? It's probably very similar to what Usheco makes. In fact, the machines that you saw at Usheco, some of those originally were at the Riften equipment plant, which then we moved over because we've been partnering with them for decades. So here we go. All right, so that's the face shield. And then here we have the face mask, which is made with surgical grade material. And for the clients and the organizations, for example, jails, there's this little aluminum piece in here which we had to remove when we were donating to the jails, but that can be done depending on what you want. and what's needed. And just as an example, so far we've donated or sold or manufactured about 20,000 sewn masks, about 500 face shields. And by the time the mask material that we've ordered runs out, we anticipate manufacturing and selling over 45,000 masks. Some of the organizations and places where the face masks and shields have gone include, these are local and regional and sort of domestic statewide. Abilities First, Bedford Hills Prison, Clinton Avenue Methodist Church, Cooperative, East Kingston Fire Department, Greene County Health Alliance, Hudson River Food Distributors, Hunter Tannersville Government, Hurley Township, Kingston PD, Large Communities out in Long Island, Lasher Funeral Home in Woodstock, Little Falls Hospital, and the list goes on, Northwestern Medical Center, Orange County and Ulster County Sheriff's Offices, Point of Praise Church in Kingston, Dutchess County Fire and Ambulance Department, Safe Harbors down in Newburgh, Schwangau, St. Remy, Tannersville again, Esopus, the fire department and ambulance squad. And so these are ways, and of course the district attorney's office as well, because that's something and a service that needs to continue on. So those are examples of some of the organizations we've been able to work with and partner with, as well as the many other our friends and neighbors around our community that we also feel is an imperative to take care of as much as ourselves. So in addition to producing PPE products, some of our international charitable partners include World Vision, Save the Children, Partners International, Oxfam, and others, and they've reported back that some of the projects we've helped in the past with WASH, which means water, sanitation, hygiene projects, have been really imperative these days, because it's been helping save lives by providing water so people in impoverished nations can really wash themselves properly, wash their hands, and fight the COVID problem. Closer to home, it's been important to be able to work with our regional charitable partners that include Ulster Corps. And today Ulster Corps is planning to have an event at SUNY New Paltz. We hope we can revisit that eventually. United Way, which of course has been integral with the Resiliency Fund, People's Place, Family Woodstock, Cornell Cooperative, various church and minister alliances, and of course the Rotary Club and the Backpack Program has been essential to get food to children who are dealing with food scarcity right now. Here in Ulster County, sadly enough, we heard, and it was announced in the Freeman, that Tenbrook Commons is facing a bit of a cluster, and we're working with them to see if we can provide nurses to help there. In Orange County, we've had several nurses working at the elder care facility in Montgomery that's been hit with the COVID-19. And then again in New York City, we've had students, and we have, believe it or not, we've had a house community on 138th Street in Harlem, and the people living there have been working with the field hospital in Central Park and Smarant's Purse to, first of all, set it up, but then also staff it with our emergency medical technicians and nurses. Thankfully, that's winding down, and I think by March 19th, that field hospital will have shut down. So, in addition, as we're doing today, we've been trying to bring people together on various calls and conference videos to encourage and also hear people what they're going through and how we can pray for them and carry their needs. And I guess before we wrap up, or at least what I have to share, Ward, I would just say, let's remember what our country's been through in the past. This is something we're going to get through. And as Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, there's many ways to move forward, and there's only one way to stand still. So I salute Pat Ryan for his idea of how we need to implement economic resiliency, the recovery, reopen, and realignment. And we're standing by to work together with the county and, of course, the chamber. So thank you very much.
And thank you again. As we mentioned leading into you, I just can't imagine anyone in your community ever saying no when asked for help. You always step forward, and you're just doing amazing work. We're so blessed to have you here in Ulster County, so thank you so much. So we're going to conclude our breakfast program this morning with, I think, one of those really feel-good stories that doesn't happen that often. One of the things that we realized at the beginning of all of this was that there were certain things people were missing. As folks were homebound, as schools were closed, people looked to food for some kind of comfort. And from that thought, the Ulster Chamber and our Director of Membership Engagement, Jess Davis, founded a Facebook group called Ulster Eateries United. It's been a phenomenal success, and I wanted Jess to spend a few minutes with you this morning telling you a little bit about that initiative and how it's going today. So I introduce Jess Davis. Good morning, come on up.
Good morning. So I just want to share, this is my latest, coolest accessory, and I do have this with me today. And I'm also rocking my New York Strong shirt, courtesy Hamilton and Adams. This is a supportive program towards Project Resilience. So I just want to say good morning, Ulster County. As Director of Membership Engagement here at the Ulster County Chamber, it is truly my privilege to support our small businesses throughout the Ulster region. On March 17th, when we received executive orders to suspend indoor dining, we decided collectively as a Chamber of Commerce to create Ulster Eateries United. We decided to do something that we don't normally do, which is to support and include all local eateries in the Ulster region, not just our members, but each and every business. We knew that they were going to need our support through this time. For the last 43 days, we have gathered around what I like to call the community dinner table, otherwise known as Ulster Eateries United, and what the Chamber likes to call UEU. It's so much easier. This is a place for our restaurants to showcase their daily specials, post daily updates and hours. They've become creative with family-style meals. They've also put the gourmet in to go. And this is somewhere where we can see how they're adapting and they're doing business safely with things like curbside pickup, walk-up windows, drive-through windows, creating outdoor barbecues, and even hosting Zoom happy hours to connect with their customers. It's also a place where our community comes together daily to plan breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even our holiday meals. Mother's Day is up next, and our restaurants are already taking pre-orders. The photos we are sharing this morning have all been shared and posted in the eatery group by members and restaurants. The resounding messages we hear are our restaurants feel supported and encouraged, people love our group, and people are learning about new places every day and trying them and going back a second time. Something we see in this group that is very special is the restaurants and community uniting to help each other with programs, including things like Project Resilience, the People's Place program, Kingston Emergency Food Collaborative, and simply Neighbors Feeding Neighbors. I personally want to thank our sponsors, Ulster Literacy and 721 Media, for making today possible. I also want to thank our guest speakers, Pat Ryan, who is the voice of calm through this storm, and Steve Bulger for your wonderful compliment this morning to our chamber, the highest compliment we could receive. I also want to thank our members protecting essential workers that came on today, Usheco, Maria Cabrera Alterations and Tailoring, and Community Playthings. Thank you for making a difference. I especially want to thank my colleagues who are unbelievably committed to this community, Ward, Allison, Carol, Val, and Ingrid, and also our board of directors. Thank you for making this possible. Lastly, and so importantly, we also want to thank our members and founding members of Ulster Eateries United. We want you to learn who they are. You can visit our website, just click on the order takeout, or look for this sign when you're driving by restaurants. Just remember, we are all in this together, Chamber Strong, Ulster United. Stay well. Thank you, Ward.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you so much. We invite you, as Jess said, to join, go to the Facebook group and ask to be a member of that great initiative. About the same time, actually 2 days later, we formed another small group called Ulster Small Businesses United. There are a lot of businesses that are still doing work in Ulster County, and we'd love to have you be part of that and support them. And we've worked with Pat Ryan to come up with a Shop Small initiative, so we hope to do another of those, hopefully in the month of May, to get folks out and supporting virtually, online, our local small businesses. And there's another thing that we just launched a little while ago, and it's something called Recognizing Our Hometown Healthcare Heroes. And we're so happy to know that a number of wonderful people in the healthcare industry have already been nominated and recognized, and we invite you to follow that part of the Chamber's Facebook experience as well. Our hometown heroes really deserve a parade. I've heard so many people say that on social media the last month or so, and there will be a parade for all of you. We guarantee it when this is all over. You are doing amazing work here in Ulster County, so we salute all of our hometown heroes in the healthcare industry. Again, if you want to nominate someone, go to the Facebook page or the Chamber website for information how you can do that, and we will recognize more of our local heroes. Thanks again to all of our guests for joining us today. We invite you to be with us again next month. We'll have another special Chamber virtual breakfast meeting, and again, May the 8th is the date for our Friday forum with Congressman Antonio Delgado, so we invite you to follow that as well. We thank you very much for being with us today. Be well. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you.